Look, I need to tell you something about your belly that's going to change how you see your entire body, and it's not what you think. Your doctor has probably never mentioned this. Your
I'm
trainer
not sure about
definitely hasn't.
this.
Hell, most
Maybe I should
people in the
just push
medical
through
field
it?
don't even talk about it
No,
because it's uncomfortable.
definitely not.
It challenges everything we've been told about weight, health, and why some people struggle no matter what they do. Here's the thing, your belly isn't just storing fat, it's keeping a record. A biological diary of every
Initiating the
stressful day,
scan now.
every sleepless night,
Look, the
every
belly is
moment
illuminating.
your body thought it was
It's like a
under
digital
attack.
core.
And that record
Fascinating.
is written in a
Data
language
streams are
most
active.
of us never learned to read. But before I dive into what that record actually says, let me paint you a picture that's going to make this crystal clear. Picture this. Two people walk into a doctor's office. Same height, same weight, same BMI. The doctor looks at their charts and says, "You're both perfectly healthy according to these numbers." Your insurance company agrees. Your gym trainer would probably give you the same workout plan. On paper, these two people are identical. But here's what the doctor can't see.
All right, team,
One
your
of these
personalized
people
plans
is
are
going
ready.
to have a heart
Great,
attack
let's see
in
the
the
metrics.
next 10
This
years.
is so intuitive.
The other won't.
Perfect.
One
Adding
is
to
going to
workouts.
develop type
Metric
2
3 is climbing.
diabetes.
I'm on
The
it.
other won't.
Your heart
One
rate
is
seems
going
a
to
bit
struggle
off.
with chronic
Really? Can we check
inflammation,
it?
joint
Let's use the
pain,
AR
brain
scanner.
fog, and a
Whoa,
metabolism
showing my
that
heart.
seems to work against
See the
them
red
no matter
pulse?
what they do.
That's a warning.
The other is going to age gracefully with stable energy and clear thinking. Same numbers on paper, completely different biological reality. The difference? It's not their weight. It's not their BMI. It's not even how much they eat or how often they exercise. It's where they carry their weight. One person carries it in their hips and thighs, distributed evenly, soft and pliable. The other carries it packed tight around their middle, creating this hard, round belly that feels almost inflated when you press on it, like there's pressure building up inside. That difference, that shape, is literally the difference between life and death. And nobody talks about it because it's invisible to every standard measurement we use to assess health. See, there are two completely different types of belly fat, and most people have no idea they exist. They think fat is fat. They think it's all the same stuff, just in different places. But that's like saying all organs are the same because they're all made of tissue. The first type is what you can grab. It's soft, it jiggles, it moves when you move. It's right under your skin. Scientists call it subcutaneous fat, but let's just call it surface fat. This is what you see in the mirror, what you pinch when you're frustrated with how you look, what you can literally grab with your hands. And while too much of it isn't great for your overall health, it's actually pretty harmless from a metabolic standpoint. It just sits there, stores energy, minds its own business. It's like having extra storage space in your garage. Not ideal if you want to look a certain way, but it's not actively trying to kill you. But the second type, that's where things get scary, really scary. This fat lives inside your body, packed between your organs, around your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, your pancreas. You can't see it, you can't grab it, you can't feel it by pressing on your stomach. A person can look completely normal from the outside, even skinny, and be carrying a dangerous amount of this stuff inside their body cavity. This is visceral fat, and it's not just sitting there doing nothing like surface fat. It's active. It's pumping out chemicals, sending signals, releasing hormones, basically acting like a rogue organ that's hijacked your body's entire communication system. Think of it like this. Surface fat is like having a quiet neighbor who keeps to themselves. Visceral fat is like having a neighbor who throws loud parties every night, plays music at all hours, and somehow convinced all the other neighbors to join in the chaos. Here's what blew my mind when I first learned this. Visceral fat is one of the most metabolically active tissues in your entire body. It's like a chemical factory that never shuts down, never takes a break, never stops producing. It's constantly releasing inflammatory molecules, these things called cytokines, that travel through your bloodstream and create inflammation everywhere they go. Your joints start aching, your brain gets foggy, your heart has to work harder, your immune system gets confused and starts attacking healthy tissue. But that's just the beginning. It's also pumping out excess cortisol, your stress hormone, even when you're not stressed. It's messing with your insulin sensitivity, making it harder for your cells to use sugar for energy. It's releasing chemicals that actively block your body's ability to regulate blood sugar properly. And get this, it dumps fatty acids directly into the portal vein, the blood vessel that feeds straight into your liver, forcing your liver to work overtime 24/7, processing fats it was never meant to handle in those quantities. Your liver starts getting overwhelmed, starts storing fat itself, starts producing more cholesterol, starts struggling to detoxify your blood properly. It's like forcing a water treatment plant to handle 10 times more waste than it was designed for. Harvard researchers found that this visceral fat was a better predictor of disease than your total body weight, your BMI, your body fat percentage, or any other measurement doctors typically use. Think about that for a second. The shape of your belly tells them more about your future health than the number on the scale. A study in 2012 followed thousands of people for over a decade and found that those with high visceral fat had significantly higher rates of heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and even certain cancers, even when their overall weight was completely normal, even when they looked healthy from the outside. Normal weight, normal BMI, normal appearance, still at high risk. Because of what was happening inside, invisible to every standard test, every routine checkup, every health screening most people get. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is the part that changes everything about how you should think about your own body. This visceral fat doesn't just randomly appear. It doesn't accumulate because you ate too many cookies or skipped too many workouts. It shows up for a very specific reason, and that reason goes back to our caveman days, back to the very beginning of human survival. Your body has this ancient alarm system that's been keeping humans alive for hundreds of thousands of years. When it senses danger, real or imagined, it releases cortisol, your stress hormone. This is your fight or flight response, your survival mechanism. Now, back in the day, this made perfect sense. Tiger chasing you, cortisol floods your system, gives you energy to run faster than you've ever run. Famine hitting your tribe, cortisol helps your body conserve energy and survive on less food. War with a neighboring tribe, cortisol keeps you alert and ready to fight for your life. But here's the problem with living in the modern world. Your body can't tell the difference between a tiger chasing you and a nasty email from your boss at 11 p.m. It can't distinguish between a real famine and the stress of a difficult relationship. It doesn't know the difference between physical danger and financial anxiety. Stress is stress. Cortisol is cortisol, and your ancient brain treats them all the same way. And here's the kicker. Visceral fat cells are absolutely loaded with cortisol receptors, way more than regular surface fat cells. It's like they have special antennas designed specifically to pick up stress signals. So when you're chronically stressed, which most of us are in this modern world, that cortisol keeps hitting those visceral fat cells like a growth hormone. Every stressful day, every sleepless night, every period of anxiety sends the same chemical message. Danger is coming. Store emergency fuel. Prepare for the worst. Your body thinks there's a famine coming, a war, some massive threat to your survival. So it starts packing emergency fuel around your vital organs, close to where you need it most for quick access. It's trying to save your life using a program that's 200,000 years old. The problem is the famine never comes. The war never starts. The physical danger your body is preparing for never materializes. But the stress continues, so the storage continues, and the visceral fat keeps growing. This is the part that changed everything for me, and I hope it changes everything for you too. The shape of your belly is literally a physical record of your stress history. Not just what you ate, not just how much you exercise, not just your genetics or your metabolism or your willpower, your stress. Every difficult year, every period of chronic anxiety, Every time your nervous system thought you were in danger, your body kept score. And it wrote that score in the structure of your belly. A study at the University of California, San Francisco found that women who had higher cortisol responses to stress had significantly more visceral fat, regardless of their total body weight, regardless of their diet, regardless of their exercise habits. The stress response came first, the belly shape followed. Another study followed people through major life stresses: divorce, job loss, death of a loved one, financial crisis. Those who experienced chronic stress during these periods showed measurable increases in visceral fat within months, even when their eating and exercise habits stayed exactly the same. This is why there are people who eat perfectly, exercise daily, get enough sleep, do everything right according to every health expert, and still can't lose that hard, round belly. It's not about willpower, it's not about discipline, it's not about trying harder or wanting it more. Their nervous system is stuck in threat mode, and their body is following ancient instructions that discipline alone can't override. They're fighting a biological program with conscious effort, and biology always wins that fight. And here's the cruel irony that makes this whole situation even more frustrating. Everything we're told to do about belly fat actually makes the problem worse for these people. Restrict calories? That's a biological stressor. Your body interprets calorie restriction as the beginning of a famine, exactly the scenario it's been preparing for. So it doubles down on storing visceral fat. Exercise more? If you're already chronically stressed and sleep deprived, intense exercise is just more stress on an already overwhelmed system. Your cortisol levels spike even higher. Wake up at 5 a.m. for workouts? Now you're sleep deprived too, which is one of the most powerful triggers for cortisol release that exists. Cut out entire food groups? That's psychological stress on top of physical stress. Your brain interprets restriction as deprivation, another survival threat. Every additional stressor, no matter how well intentioned, sends the same message to those visceral fat cells. Hold on tight, store more, the danger is real and it's getting worse. This is why some people can follow every diet perfectly, hire the best trainers, take all the right supplements and still struggle. They're fighting biology with willpower, and biology always wins that fight, always. But it gets worse, and this is the part that really shows you how deep this problem goes. This visceral fat doesn't just sit there making you look different or feel frustrated. It creates a vicious cycle that's almost impossible to break without understanding what's really happening at the biological level. The inflammation from visceral fat travels throughout your entire body, including to your brain. It actually crosses the blood-brain barrier and starts damaging the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, emotional regulation, impulse control, and stress management. So let me walk you through this cycle, because once you see it, you'll understand why willpower alone never works. The belly fat creates inflammation. The inflammation travels to your brain and damages the brain region you need to manage stress effectively. The damaged brain can't handle stress as well as it used to. Poor stress management leads to more cortisol release. More cortisol means more visceral fat storage. More visceral fat means more inflammation. More inflammation means more brain damage. It's a closed loop, a biological trap. And once it gets going, you literally can't think your way out of it because it's compromising the very part of your brain you'd need to think with. This isn't a character flaw. This isn't a lack of willpower. This is a biological system that's been hijacked by modern life and is now working against itself. So what's the answer? It's not what you think, and it's definitely not what most people are trying. A 2018 analysis of multiple studies found something remarkable. Stress reduction techniques, things like meditation, better sleep hygiene, nervous system regulation, breathing exercises, actually reduced visceral fat independent of any changes in diet or exercise. Let me repeat that. People reduced dangerous belly fat without changing what they ate or how much they exercised. The belly was responding to the brain, not the plate. Sleep optimization reduced cortisol levels and visceral fat storage. Meditation changed the stress response and the fat responded accordingly. Breathing exercises activated the parasympathetic nervous system and the belly shape changed. The solution isn't more restriction. It's not more exercise. It's not more willpower or discipline or trying harder. The solution is addressing the cortisol at its source. It's nervous system work. It's understanding that your body isn't broken. It's just following very old programming in a very new world. Look, I'm not saying diet and exercise don't matter. They absolutely do. But if you've been struggling with that hard round belly despite doing everything right according to conventional wisdom, you need to understand what you're really dealing with. Your belly isn't a character flaw. It's not proof that you lack willpower or discipline. It's not evidence that you're lazy or weak or not trying hard enough. It's a symptom of a nervous system that's been trying to protect you using ancient programming in a modern world that never stops sending threat signals. Every stressful period, every sleepless night, every time your nervous system thought you were under threat, your body kept the score in the most visible way it knew how. Your belly is the physical architecture of your survival history. The shape can change, the fat can be reduced, the inflammation can be calmed, but only when you understand what actually built it in the first place. This isn't a willpower problem, it's a wiring problem. It's an ancient brain trying to navigate a world it was never designed for, using tools that made perfect sense 200,000 years ago, but are completely mismatched for modern life. And the path forward starts with understanding that your body isn't broken. It's not failing you. It's not working against you out of spite or stubbornness. It's been trying to save you this whole time. Now you just need to learn how to speak its language, how to send it the right signals, how to convince it that the danger has passed and it's safe to let go of the emergency fuel storage. The question is, what else is your body trying to tell you that you haven't learned to read yet? What other messages is it sending through symptoms you've been trying to fight instead of understand? Your body's always talking. The question is whether you're ready to listen.